And welcome back to the second episode of my series VulnerabiliTIPS. So today we're going to talk about the tension between perfection and delivery and a way to manage that. But before I start, I want to thank a couple of people. Number one is my friend Mariano Belmonte, who was the one suggesting the name VulnerabiliTIPS. Thank you very much, grazie, anzi grazie mille. Number two is my family, so my wife and my kids, because they are the one allowing this to happen. Because right now they are doing something else, they're painting, and so they're cutting out some time for me to come here and organize and do my own things. So, saying that, let's get to the topic. Tension between perfection and delivery. What do I mean by that? Have you ever been into a meeting where you had people in the room, and it could have been yourself, saying, well, if we don't have this, and that, we can't do this, or we can't give it to the customer. On the other side, you have people saying, well, we have this, and this, let's deliver these three things and then move on, and then we'll do the other things later. We're not here to establish who's right and who's wrong. We're here to understand how to manage that, because clearly you can't be completely still and not doing anything, and on the other side you can't just keep delivering things and whatever happens. So my own way of doing this is to have some sort of guidance, and the guidance for me comes from having a purpose, having a vision, and having some values to refer to. And we're gonna see how I do this normally, or how I did this in the past. And the best way for me to give you an example, I thought it was just to review again the video series that I've been running. Why? It's a way to simplify a very complex topic. B, you can relate to it. What I mean is you can go and rewatch some of the videos and saying, oh yeah, that's what he was saying. That's actually what he delivered on. That's what he was saying that he was gonna do, and he did it or he didn't. So you can go and check, and hopefully we can keep talking, open a conversation about it. So let's get into it. I prepared a board for you, which is held by my DJ booth, by the way, just in case you didn't like my perfection too much. Enough. Okay, so what we're reviewing is the video series, my video series. We have the two extremes, so we have perfection and delivery, and we have a middle ground, of course. We have my guiding values: vulnerability, connection, and authenticity. And this on the left side is a list of requirements, not an extensive one, but the main things that I thought about before making this series. So number one is the technology. I would say the ambience and the technology. So the quality of it, lighting, the type of camera, and the audio. And the idea was, with if the lighting is not perfect, you can't do this. If you don't use an SLR, the quality is gonna be really sketchy. If you don't use a mic, your voice is not gonna be heard perfectly. The other thing was having clear objectives. Being an active member of LinkedIn, which means before you make any of these videos, you should be commenting on other people's videos, resharing, so build a sort of a network first, and then you can deliver, so you have more people, and the potential for resharing and grow these videos is actually even bigger. The length of the video should be 3 to 5 minutes, otherwise no one is going to watch it. You should be posting at least one video per week, because you need some consistency, otherwise people don't know what to expect. You should have a landing page. What I mean by that is a website or a blog, something that people can dig deeper if they want to know more about you. How did it work? Firstly, I don't think you can just make a decision and say, I think this should go first and this second. As I said, you should seek guidance from what your purpose, your vision, your objectives are. The problem was, in the first video I didn't have any objectives, because it was just a way to get out of my comfort zone. What I did have though was a purpose and some values. So I knew that I want to help organizations and individuals navigate through uncertainty and prepare for change. So I thought I had to be coherent and do that to myself. And B, values, vulnerability, connection, and authenticity. And so what I did was a check and saying, having poor lighting, not a great camera, and not an amazing audio, is that gonna feed into my value vulnerability? I think so. Connection, is that gonna create the ability to connect? Possibly, or possibly not. Some people might be put off, some people might actually like it, but it's actually a good way to have the people who are actually really committed to you, following you and connecting that way. Authenticity, absolutely. There's nothing more authentic of just doing things wherever you are, and in whichever format. Clear objectives. So, sorry, what that means is that this actually wasn't delivered. This stayed here. The only thing I can say is that in the second and in this video, I probably started to move things around to have a little bit of a better lighting. So let me just move this just a tiny bit closer to the delivery. That's a little bit better. Clear objectives. In the first video I didn't have one, but the first video actually clarified what I wanted to do. And so in the second video, I stated the three objectives that I have. Number one is the idea of removing the stigma from on mental health, because I myself, a person who's been struggling with mental health for years, and so the idea is coming out with these videos and show other people that you can actually do it too, and it's completely fine. We're people like anyone else. And so that was one, and number two was remove the stigma of someone like me wanting to change career in saying, well, if you only done that most of your career, you can't just move into something else. And so making these videos and talk about the things that I want to do in the near future might be a way. The third thing was the potential for creating opportunities. Maybe someone is going to watch this video, is going to call me or send me a private message and say, hey, actually, we would like to work with you. So it wasn't in the first video, so it wasn't perfect in the first video, but in the second video, I already had my objectives. Active member LinkedIn. Well, you should build, some sort of network before you do this. I didn't have time because I have 2 kids and one of them is a month old. Like, I couldn't do this. I can barely make these videos right now. So I left it. But guess what happened? Because I've been making these videos, a lot of people wanted to connect with me. And so my network is actually building up. So we're getting a little bit closer. Video length. I'm sorry, I'm guilty as charged. These videos are very long, and I don't know what to do. And I learned the hard way, because you can't do more than 10 minutes. And I'm currently on 8 minutes and 10, so I have to be very quick. So on that one, I didn't deliver, but that's fine to me. I will learn how to do them shorter, and it will happen, but not right now. And the thing is, the argument is no one is gonna watch that. That was my argument. But then I had 1,500 views on my first video and 500 on the second one. What should I think? What I think is that I should keep going. I can get better at this, but in the meantime, I shouldn't be stopping just because of the length. 1 video per week, I achieved that. Although now I'm moving from a Friday to a Tuesday. And finally, having a landing page. Well, I didn't build a website or a blog, not yet, but on the opposite, what happened is that you still have a landing page, which is my LinkedIn profile. So in a way, to me, this is a sort of a middle ground. And this is my way of delivering on something, and on managing the tension. You see, not everything is perfect. Some things will be all the way here, some things will still be here, and some in the middle ground. But I think it's still worth it to keep moving while having your values, your purpose, and a vision as your guidance. So please leave your comments, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.